Welcome to KeyedIn Manufacturing, Configurable Cloud ERP. Before we get into the presentation, I wanted to share a little bit more about our technology. Quite simply, we allow our customers to drive higher profitability, reduce cost, and start to automate their routines that quite simply take too long and are too error-prone with old technology. You can become a more efficient organization and really start to drive better quoting, better scheduling, and start to have a single system of truth that ties all of your processes together in a single solution. We've built KeyedIn Manufacturing specifically for small and medium-sized custom manufacturers. Until now, there hasn't been a software package specifically designed to meet the needs of the custom job shop. Now there is. So why KeyedIn over other vendors out there? Well, quite frankly, our solution is best in class. It's built on our proprietary configure platform, which really allows you as the end user to wrap that solution around your business and really configure it around your competitive differentiators. In addition, we also have a tremendous services and implementation team. We have experience back in the days of on-premise and legacy systems, and we've built KeyedIn Manufacturing from the ground up in the cloud to give you access to your data and grow with you in the decades to come. As your business changes, we'll change with you. All right, so let's get started in the solution now. Notice that I'm signing in through a web browser. So anywhere you can access the internet, you have access to KeyedIn Manufacturing. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you a little bit about why I'm personally so excited about the tool and the solution that we're bringing to small and mid-sized manufacturers. This allows them to efficiently manage operations and employee resources to focus on what's really important. We allow you to automate routine processes and begin to manage by exception, all through an intuitive user interface. And I'll show you some examples of that as we walk through what begins as a quote and will finish up through shipping and invoicing. Now notice my menu on the left hand side. Of course, these are all the modules that we have out of the box. You can add your own, and I don't even need to understand the structure of the menu. I can just start typing and quickly find what I need. Let's go into an opportunity that I've got built out already, and we'll use this as a jumping off point. Now in this case, I'm going to close this sidebar, get a little more screen size. I have an estimate for both a custom part and an off-the-shelf part. Now for my custom parts, I can actually go in and start to make changes to the time for each of these coming off a template. Now if my estimate looks good, I might go ahead and turn this into a quote, and I can do that through a single click. I'm clicking add quote. I have the option to choose any items that I've estimated internally. In this case, I'll just choose this custom part, this 2054. And with a couple quick clicks, I've now built out a custom quote based on a single line item from an estimate that I just spent some time working up. From here, I can print that quote, and this becomes a PDF document that I can attach to my native email program, and I'll give you a view of what that looks like here. Or of course, I could email this from directly within the application as well. Now we've got our quote, it's time to convert it into a sales order. I can do that with one click as well. And what the application's doing at this point is pulling in the estimates that I've got for each line item. In this case, we've only surfaced one of those line items from the estimate, and I'll quickly turn that into a sales order and really begin the production process. In the sales order, it looks much like the quote, and I can scroll down and see that line item down below. Now at this point, I could go into that line, see if there's any changes that need to be made to the description. I could record a customer PO number, for example. And at this point, I'm probably going to have my production manager or my foreman that's actually going to create the job for this order. And I'll do that now. Now I have a related work order, and we can begin the production process. Let's go over to that work order now and see an example. Within the work order, everything that we detailed out on the estimate side, any changes that we made, material substitution, or time changes to operations, all those carry through, so I don't have to rework those now. Scrolling down, I see the entire list of operations, the materials lists, and from here, for those shops that aren't quite yet ready to go paperless, I can print a traveler or a router. The printed traveler shows up as a PDF document, and I'll give you a view of what that looks like now. It's complete with barcodes, and of course, just like all the documents within the application, you have the ability to customize and change the look and feel of these, actually based on a Word document. One more piece about the work order is this becomes the central hub of which all the spokes of material issues, labor and time card, or even direct buy purchase orders will start to populate down below in real time across all these related lists. From here, we're going to look at purchasing, scheduling, and then we'll round out the experience with digitally recording shop floor time and issuing material. Let's begin with purchasing now. What's powerful about this process is that I can begin to automate and collect demand across a variety of sources within the application. So for example, I might have items that I have stocked. So I need to replenish those to my minimum reorder point. In this case, I'm going to look at all materials through a particular cutoff date and not have to guess about what I need to buy. Now, if I wanted to sort by a particular part and get all the ordering done for that particular part number, I could do that. For our example, I'm just going to pull on that last work order we were reviewing to show you the power of buying directly to the job in addition to buying regular inventoried parts. In this case, we see demand for some stock material that's fallen below the reorder point. In addition, we also have a particular custom one-off purchase that we'll buy directly to the job. Now in this case, I can select any items that I want to turn into a purchase order, and since I don't have a vendor for the shipping crate, I'll add one now. Now with one click, the application's in this case going to generate two separate purchase orders, each going to two different vendors. At this point, I can make that call on the phone or even email these POs out as separate attachments. So we'll fast forward in time and assume that we receive these items. Let's go take a look at the resource visual scheduling board. And what this allows me to do is quickly understand what potential overloads I have by work center. In this case, we'll take a look at the vertical machining center, F9, and see what jobs are scheduled. Now from here I can quickly see what jobs may already be late. I can see what jobs we haven't started yet, but we can still get out on time. Now if I wanted to make a change, I can do that directly within the chart itself. I can actually pick up an order and start to slide it around. As I do so, the application gives me the choice to move the whole operation or the entire work order. Now this is scheduled. I can commit those changes, and the team on the shop floor would start to see those happen in real time on the digital shop floor dashboard. Now keep in mind this can be accessed through a PC, a tablet, even an iPad directly mounted to a shop floor workbench. Now I happen to be punched in this case as employee number 102. Now what's nice about this for an employee is that they don't have to guess about what they should be working on. Simply going into their work queue and putting on a filter based on whatever role or whatever resource center they're working on for that day, they can quickly see all the jobs that are slated for production. Now in our case, I'm going to drill quickly into that work order that we've been using as an example. In this case, 1137. Now since I have a setup operation, I'll go ahead and start setup now. In essence, I'm punching into this job. By the way, I can punch into multiple jobs at the same time, and my cost will automatically be allocated across those jobs. As I scroll down, I can see all the active operations that I'm punched in on. I can come back to this job, issue material as needed, start and stop this, and even move on to actually starting production. I also have the ability from within the shop floor to reject material, and I can also use this as a time card, essentially punch in and punch out, exclusive of any particular job. Next, we'll print a packing slip and get this order shipped out the door. I'll close this down, back into our main tab. We'll go to Generate Packing Slips. And this is really a batch process, much like you saw with our ability to consolidate purchases. We also consolidate generating packing slips. So I'll run this out through a particular date, and in our case, I'm going to focus on just that order that we're using as our example. And I'll do a quick search for it. That will show up as a single line item. And if I had multiple lines on the same sales order that were indeed done and ready for creating a packing slip and shipping, I could choose those here as well. In this case, I'll choose our item. Now we've created a packing slip. From here, we actually separate out the functions of creating packing slips and actually marking those items as shipped. Now, much like you saw before, I could print a packing slip here, build a PDF that I could send off to my printer, and I could also mark this item as shipped. Once I do so, this allows the accounting and the invoicing side to see that it's left the building, and we can indeed create an invoice. Now at this point, we typically would have a different role using the applications, but I want to show you all a piece of the financial side. KeyedIn Manufacturing actually generates journal entry, records all the manufacturing related transactions, and will pass those bidirectionally to your accounting system of choice. Now, we also fire off the initial AP and AR. I'll show you that process now, at least for the accounts receivable function. So at this point, I'll choose Get Shipments, and this is much like the other batch or automated routines that you've seen in the application. I'll run this out through a specified date, and the system returns back any shipments that are now ready to be invoiced. I can drill into that invoice, and here I have a set of checks and balances. I can validate that invoice, void it, or even transfer the invoice entirely. Let's finish off back in the application on the owner's dashboard. Back in the manufacturing application, here we are at the owner's dashboard, and what you see here is some powerful top-level information that any supervisor, customer service manager, or the owners themselves might use to really understand the health of their business. So you can see there's a variety of reports and views here, from pipeline revenue, top customers. As I scroll down, you'll see more production related reports, and further yet, we see detailed cost summary information. So what's notable about these dashboards is that we help you through the implementation get these set up for each key role within your organization. But going forward, you can start to manage and maintain these as your needs change and as you might have different priorities within the organization. So for example, we're looking today at a work order cost summary report. If I wanted to go behind this panel, I could actually expose the details here and start to swap out reports here that might make more sense for whatever question or priority my focus is for a given quarter. So that's KeyedIn manufacturing in a nutshell. I hope you've seen how we can save you time, not only from rekeying data along the way, also automating a lot of those routine processes so you, the manufacturer, can focus on really what matters most, driving more profitability, increasing margin, and hopefully spending more time outside of work. Thank you.